Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today I have my Lawbreakers tier list for the Rise Up Open Beta. Now, with Lawbreakers being a game that has very little hard counters, and overall the meta isn't as substantial as other games like Overwatch, all the characters, all the classes in this game are actually quite viable. But with that said, some classes are more niche where they can only be used effectively in a few scenarios. But then you have the more powerful characters that I'm going to be talking about in the A+ and the S tier, and these characters are very versatile. I think versatility is a key characteristic because in Lawbreakers the battlefield can go and change at a moment's notice. You can be in 0G and then you can be at close quarters on the ground, and then you can be at long range, and then you can be chasing somebody. Overall, a good character in this game is a character that can go and adapt to multiple scenarios, and on top of that, of course, you have how easy it is for that character to be picked up by a beginner, the damage output, the amount of health, the movement speed, how well that character can go move through the air. Put all of those together, and that is the criteria for my rankings. Starting out with the B tier, we have Vanguard. Vanguard is a class that is meant to run people down. You go and chase people, you rev up that minigun, it gets extremely accurate, and you do a ton of damage. The problem right now is that at close range and long range, she is basically useless. When it comes to close range, Juggernauta will decimate her, Wraith decimates her, Assassin decimates her, but then at long range, enforcing Gunslinger goes and puts out so much long range damage that overall she isn't useful there as well. The whole thing with Vanguard is she's meant to go and chase people that has the objective. But the problem with Vanguard is linked to her fuel. Simply, she doesn't have enough of it. When you're going and shifting, using those afterburners around the map, by the time you get to the objective, you've run out of fuel. And when you've run out of fuel, you're a sitting duck. By just sitting on the ground or floating in 0G, you're going to be absolutely decimated. And when you get to, let's say, a battery in order to go and capture it, and let's say an assassin right in your face, you try to right click, you try to push back. That also uses fuel. You won't have enough of it and you just get decimated. You need to go and make that medium range engagement. And so, okay, you have to say, am I going to be a bullet hose or am I going to be just a purely objective focused type of character? And that is really, really bad. She needs to be able to go and do both in order to be effective. Now, moving into the B+ tier, we have Assassin. I think Assassin is in a really good spot right now. There's always been a debate, is Assassin overpowered or underpowered? I think she's really good right now if you can go and play her correctly. But nobody is playing her correctly. The correct way to go and play Assassin is to use verticality and flanking maneuvers. You can't just run up to a Titan and expect to go and kill him. If the Titan has half a brain, he's going to put one rocket into you and insta-shot you. Basically, what you have to do as Assassin is get high in the sky. You have to assess where the enemies are, and then from there you can drop down, grapple onto them from behind, and do a ton of damage through your flanking capabilities. I think the nerf to Romulus, where it has less projectile speed, goes and forces her to go and use her blades more, but with the whole precision aspect, where you have to go and put the crosshair onto the enemy in order to go and do the extra damage, that goes and says, okay, differentiates between the bad plays and the good plays, which is quite good. And then you have her ultimate ability. The lifesteal on that is insane. So if you can go and get that flank, you can go and get that kill chain, then overall Assassin is a super powerful character. And therefore, she's kind of like that noob stompy character where a lot of people just pick her up simply because of her high damage. And if you're versing people that really don't know what they're doing, Assassin can be extremely useful. Moving into the A tier, and we have two characters I really want to go and talk about. The first one is Gunslinger. I love Gunslinger. His left click is that burst fire pistol. His right click is that sniper-like pistol. A lot of people really go and underestimate him. His shift ability, where he can zip around, like he can go and teleport, that can go and get you out of a lot of sticky situations. And then you can go and force the fight to be a medium or longer range fight, which is exactly what you want. You want to be sniping people down with a right click, and when you see them, they are low, you can go and shift in and left click and try to go and burst them down with your burst fire pistol. One of the problems right now with Gunslinger is his ultimate ability. It simply takes way too long for the two weapons to actually activate and go into that fully automatic mode. Now, I like the concept of the ultimate, but it needs to have a more snappy type of implementation. You press that Q, it goes jut, and then boom, you're ready to go. It takes like half a second, less than half a second. Now it takes way too long, and that short delay in doing absolutely no damage can be really significant in a battle where a little bit of damage can go and turn the tide. Now, the other class I want to go and talk about is Titan. Titan is an absolute beast right now. His rocket launcher does so much damage against squishies, those being the Wraith and the Assassin. When they get up close and personal, one rocket into them and they are toast. If you missed a rocket, swap out to the Crisper. The Crisper is such a good weapon, does a ton of damage, and overall goes and deals with really tanky characters as well. Overall, his kit is sick. Then you have his ultimate ability. I think his ultimate ability is a really big game changer, and we don't have too many of those in Lawbreakers. It feels more Overwatch-esque, where you save your ultimate for a big team fight. That's what Titan has. A lot of other ultimate abilities you just kind of use when you have it, and then if you don't have it in a big team fight, it doesn't really matter. But with that said, when it goes off, when you go into those lightning hands, the amount of damage that you go and do is substantial. But the thing is, a lot of people are not playing Titan correctly in terms of his movement. You're supposed to go and shoot behind you. It only does about 30 or so self-inflicted damage, and you can go and get a ton of momentum out of your base. You hop into the 0G zone, you right click behind you, you get even more momentum, you land in the enemy's base, and then you can use the ultimate, and then you can go and just go for those point blank rockets, those point blank crisper, blasts and whatever. And then overall, he can just decimate the battlefield. When people learn how to play him correctly, he's going to be a menace, an absolute menace. Moving into the A+ tier, the first character we're talking about is Enforcer. Enforcer right now, his assault rifle just does so much damage. Medium range, long range damage, there's a lot of squishes. If you can go and track properly, you're going to absolutely decimate. And talking about decimating, his Hellfire missiles, the lock-on rocket launcher, it is cheesy, it is really annoying to go up against, and it's kind of a no-skill ability, but it does a ton of damage, and it's super effective. Honestly, I think that Boski should go and rework that ability. I think what they should go and do is have his ultimate as a relatively low cooldown ultimate where he can go and aim down sights like they had in the alpha, because that aiming down sights ability was really powerful, but have it linked to the ultimate so you don't really have that cheese. So it's kind of more skill orientated rather than just a lock-on missile that you really have no counterplay against. The last character for the A+ tier is the Battle Medic, and the Battle Medic, despite being rarely played, is a super powerful character, and I definitely suggest going and picking her up. I think the whole medic in the name is going putting people off, but don't be put off. She heals, and she does a ton of damage. The damage comes from her grenade launcher. That grenade launcher, if you can go and aim it properly, you can decimate assassins, you can decimate Wraiths, anybody that tries to go onto you, you can just go and left click, it just explodes on impact, and you can go and destroy people. And then saying, if you want to go and sit back and play more of a utility role, what you can go and do, you can just press E on people, heal, shield, all that type of stuff. It is all good. And her ultimate, when you want to go and capture an objective, you press the ultimate ability, it pushes people back, it heals people inside it. There is nothing bad about her kit. And the fact that she can go and float around in 0G with her jetpacks and it uses relatively no fuel. I don't think there's anything bad with her kit. I think she is a super balanced character, but she's super effective, and not having a Battle Medic on your team is definitely going to be a bit of a detriment. Now, moving into the S tier, we have the remaining two classes for Lawbreakers. Now, let's go and talk about Wraith first. Wraith is one of the most complained about characters right now. On Reddit, everybody's saying, go and nerf Wraith, he's so overpowered. Everybody complaining on Discord. I don't think people realize why Wraith is really powerful right now, and it's not because of the majority of his kit. I think the majority of his kit is really balanced. When you have a look at his machine pistol, that is extremely powerful at close range, but at medium range and long range, it definitely drops off how it's supposed to. Then you go and have a look at his shift ability, that knee slide. That knee slide, it's kind of cool, and you can go and use it to kind of chain the jumps together with his right click, and that is, not too bad. Then you have his E. That E is definitely underutilized. You can decimate tanks with that. Put it around a corner, and then when you see that Titan walk around, you shoot that explosive, and it goes and does a lot of damage. You knee slide in, and you can go and finish the job. His ultimate is really good as well. It goes and slows down people. It feels kind of cheesy. I think the slow is a little bit extreme. It needs to be toned down a little bit. But overall, the design of it and its implementation in this beta is no problem. The problem with Wraith, and the reason why he's overpowered, is his melee right click. It is so powerful, not only in terms of damage, but also in terms of getting around the map. So when it comes to the damage, the hitbox is fucking ridiculous. Like, you can not aim at somebody, you can right click and you'll go in and you hear the sound, the registry sound. For some reason, the right click ability, that melee stab, it does so much damage, but it also has such a forgiving hitbox. You can not aim and it will go and hit. But then also, his right click is used as getting around the map. When you want to go and just quickly change the direction that your character is moving, you can just press right click. It's basically instant, and the fact that it's up almost instantly, that you can just go and right click, and you can go and move around the map really easily. The thing that really has to be done, the Wraith, you have to go and just kind of gut that right click down as, okay, if it's in the precision zone, like Assassin has, have that precision zone, but for Wraith as well, then make it go and do the damage that it's doing now. But if it's not in that precision zone, don't go and give it the amount of damage that it's supposed to be. Go and give it a significantly nerfed amount of damage and make people go and aim properly. Also, have that right click on a higher cooldown. It is up way too fast. Go and make that cooldown a lot higher, and overall I think a lot of people go and move away from Wraith, but the people that can actually go and play him properly will go and see, okay, it isn't really that much of a detriment to the overall kit, but it goes and makes the skill floor a little bit higher, and that's overall what he needs right now. So many people picking him up, but so many people just kind of abusing the broken aspect, not actually playing him the way he's supposed to be played. Now moving into the last character, and that is Juggernauta. Juggernauta is supposed to be overpowered in this beta. Boss Keys said they overtuned him because in the previous beta he was extremely weak, now he's extremely strong and they're trying to go and get some data. Juggernauta, the reason why he's so strong right now, his toggleable armor is so good, but it also doesn't go and affect any other of your firing or your abilities and whatnot. You can just toggle on and off as you like, and that means as soon as you go and hear the first swipe of an assassin going and killing you, you just go and put that armor on, you go and twitch, and you can just go and decimate that person in close range with your, your stab ability or your shotgun, or the combination of that with a kick as well. Then you go and have the fact that you can just sprint extremely fast right into the enemy's base, put up a shield perhaps, and go and block them off from a certain area. I think in Blitzball, he is so powerful on Grand View because you can just go and sit at your base, and then if they're flying in, you can just go and press E, put a shield up, and they have to just go and basically wait for that shield to go down, or they have to go all the way around from the other side, and that means they are really susceptible to actually getting killed. I think that Juggernauta definitely needs to be toned down. By toned down, I mean that the damage, it's supposed to be higher, right? But his right click, again, is a really forgiving hitbox. Kind of less forgiving than Wraith, but still quite forgiving. But I think his shield, it is too strong, and I think that overall he uses fuel kind of sparingly. I think he needs a bit less fuel, and that overall will put him in a better place. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to go and post your comments in the comments section below. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.